Hello, everyone. It's me, Whimsy. Good to see you all from beautiful Tel Aviv, Jaffa. I'm in the Jaffa area at a wonderful hotel. It's quite beautiful. I'm alive. I'm safe. Everything is fine. As many of you have heard, it looks like Israel in the next 3 weeks will be taking over Gaza. I believe right now I'm in Israel. I'm an Israeli. We've taken about 71% of Gaza, and of course, we will be taking the whole area. If any of you are watching this channel, you know a little bit about the Oasis One project, and you know that we shared with you the data some time ago on the fact that it was necessary for us to take Gaza. And the reason why was because Gaza is currently being occupied by an Iranian proxy army known as Hamas. There is a lot of disinformation out there. Most of it is coming from Iran and Russia. And the purpose of the disinformation is to get people to hate Jews, fight the Jews, kill Jews, and blaming Israel for the fact that we have to go in and take Gaza. But for the last 2 years, as I've been speaking to people about creating Oasis zones, I have publicly said that the only way that we can build Oasis is if we get the terrorist removed from the area. So if you look at the original map of the Oasis, I'd like you all to take a look at what I wrote in December of 2023 that was sent to the IDF. And I thank them for taking my data. You can see that there is a narrow strip of safety zones that we will be creating as we clear Hamas. Hamas is a proxy army of the Iranian Guard, and they attacked Israel October 7th, 2023, massacring over 1,200 people. Now, there's also a lot of disinformation out there that young people are receiving, the people that are protesting that Hamas really didn't rape and kill people, that rape really didn't happen, that it was all just a terrible misunderstanding, that we were killed by friendly fire. There's plenty of videos live of the massacre because everything was filmed by Hamas. Now, just as America had to occupy Japan, so too will Israel have to occupy Gaza. Somebody had said in the comments a couple of days ago that Japan was not under occupation. Yes, Japan is under occupation, and Japan will remain under occupation. That's why we have U.S. military bases in Japan to this day, U.S. bases in the Philippines, U.S. bases in South Korea, U.S. bases in parts of the Middle East, U.S. bases in Europe, because U.S. bases never left. And the reason why U.S. bases never left was to prevent the areas from being taken over by hostile armies like Russia. You cannot build an Oasis zone as long as there are terrorists killing people. So what is happening is that the food that was being distributed was being taken over by Hamas, and so the people couldn't get the food. And as a consequence of that, the people themselves were starving. Now the people are fighting against Hamas, the terrorist, and they're asking Israel to come in and rescue them. We are the girls and the women of Gaza, and they are calling for and they are asking that Israel come in and clear Hamas. So again, Hamas is very similar to ISIS, and the money is coming from Iran. Now, if you want to see the Abraham Accords happen, if you want to see peace finally in the Middle East, that means that we are going to have to work with coalitions like United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, etc., to create the kind of world that we believe the people of Gaza deserve. If you've read some of the articles that I've written on the rebuilding of the Oasis zone, and I can show you what has been published. This was published quite a while ago, actually. We talked about building secure zones for the common good. And we talked about the fact that Hamas had to be removed. And we talked about the fact that it would require occupation for some time, and that the good people, the good people of Gaza don't want Hamas there because Hamas is killing civilians, using children as human shields, etc. I would refer you to the article that I wrote called the Oasis One Project, Security Zones Created for Industry, Integration, and the Shared Common Good. You can Google Dr. Whimsy Anderson, or you can find out more about me by just going to ChatGPT or Grok if you want them to summarize the thesis. But you can see here from the article what the numbers are, the attack of Hamas. And here is, of course, the transportation line that will be put in that will also benefit the people of Gaza. So what's happening is that people are protesting the occupation that will ultimately liberate them from the terrorists that have been using them as human shields, because the people don't know what's going on. Next week, I think that Donald Trump will be here. I think it's going to be his victory lap. One of the reasons why I can't get out of Israel is because we're being bombed. And so flights have been grounded. So Israel has to do something about that when they're being bombed. But what I'm noticing on my channel is just unbelievable disinformation and a desperate attempt to be politically correct or popular, because that's the popular wave. When the United States went into Japan, it was bloody. We dropped 2 atomic bombs. We took Okinawa, the islands, to protect them from Chinese invasions, etc. Excuse me. Because they were aligned with the enemy. They were attacking the United States with suicide bombers, etc. And so we're seeing the same type of phenomenon happening as the West takes Gaza. So just be aware that what you're seeing in the news may not be exactly the facts. The other problem that was starting to happen was that when we would bring food aid into the area, it was taken by the terrorists. And so the people were starving whether the aid got in or not, because it was all being stockpiled by Hamas and using guns, etc., to prevent people from getting the food. Ransacking and stealing so that the people couldn't get the food. This was a very common thing that Hamas has been doing. And the other thing is that they didn't really care about the fact that the people of Gaza were starving, because they don't care about the people of Gaza. That's the unfortunate truth. And so even if we had allowed food distribution into the area, it likely would not have gotten to the people. You can see here are images of the trucks bringing in the food, and you can see men with guns. These are Hamas fighters. They've seized the food, and the people themselves cannot get to the food. And they're doing this because they're trying to stockpile food for themselves. This is a foreign occupying army. They've basically been occupying Gaza and terrorizing the people of Gaza since 2005. They don't care about Gaza. They're not there to help the people of Gaza. All they want to do is kill people. All they want to do is kill Israelis. And so what happens, even if we bring the food in, is that the children of Gaza will starve. And unfortunately, it's just part of the horror that is Hamas. And here is an example. Also, I wanted to show you of what happens when a Gazan child tries to steal the food back for the people. You can see here what Hamas did to him. A thief, he's just trying to get the food from the warehouse. And this is how they treat the people of Gaza who try to take the food. Stealing the food. Always stealing. People never can get the food. If the West does not come in and intercede and create these safe zones, then the people will starve. This is what they do to the people who try to. A lot of people don't want to see what's going on in Gaza because it's upsetting. And so they turn away. But the problem when you turn away and don't look at things that are upsetting is that you wind up with disinformation. It's easier to blame Israel because it's simple. It's easy to blame the Jews because it's simple. Getting educated and finding out about safe zones, finding out about the Oasis One program, finding out about what's really going on takes work. All right, I want to thank you so much for supporting the Oasis One towards a new vision of Gaza. You know, the question I get is, will there be a Trump tower? I don't know. I'm sure that next week, Mr. Trump will want to take credit for liberating those areas and creating safe zones. No one's invited me to a meeting or gotten back to me, and I'm finding out about the implementation of Oasis zones in real time along with the rest of you. Of course, I support the Oasis One, the creation of humanitarian zones where we distribute the food directly to the people so that it can't be stolen by Hamas. And I support the rebuild. Unfortunately, I have to work with whatever president or prime minister has to be in power. I just wish that the powers that be would respect me enough to get back to me. And unfortunately, that has not happened. So anything else I can say about the rebuild? Yeah, I think it will be beautiful once the terrorists are removed. And I think that we are moving towards peace, even though it's a bloody beginning. And I think that it's important to stay educated. And I think good people are concerned, and rightly so, because nobody wants to see war and suffering. All right, thank you for your love and support, and we'll see you next time. Be well, everyone.